Hello and welcome to the channel. Please sub to the channel V Media, like, share and comment on our video also. Thank you. Why we are supporting Peter Obi, AFENIFERE. The leader of the pan-Yoruba group AFENIFERE, Ayo Adebanjo, has said the group decided to back the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, for equity and inclusiveness. Mr. Adebanjo, who spoke at a press conference in Lagos on Monday, said the Yoruba had taken the first turn of the zonal arrangement in 1999, which led to the emergence of President Olusegun Obasanjo. The current president is a Fulani from the northwest, and by virtue of the zoning arrangement that has governed Nigeria since 1999, power is supposed to return to the south imminently, said Mr. Adebanjo. The Southwest, as I have pointed out, has produced a president and currently sits as VP. The South-South has spent a total of 6 years in the presidency, but the Igbo people of the Southeast have never tasted presidency in Nigeria, and now that the power is due back in the South, equity demands that it be ceded to the Igbo. We cannot continue to demand that the Igbo people remain in Nigeria while we at the same time continue to brutally marginalize and exclude them from the power dynamic. Peter Obi is the person of Igbo extraction that AFENIFERE has decided to support and back. He is the man we trust to restructure the country back to federalism on the assumption of office. Before the political parties conducted their primaries, a journalist asked what is my view about the 2023 general election. I answered and said the country should be restructured before the general election, and he followed up by asking if there should be an election, which zone should the presidency come from? And I unhesitatingly said, of course, the Southeast. After the primaries and the candidates emerged with Asiwaju Bola TINUBU from the Southwest, APC, Atiku Abubakar on the platform of PDP, and Peter Obi on the platform of Labour Party, I announced AFENIFERE support for Peter Obi. Not a few Yoruba leaders questioned why I should be supporting Peter Obi, a candidate of Igbo extraction, against Asiwaju Bola TINUBU, a Yoruba. I took my time to explain that the presidency is not a contest between the Yorubas and the Igbos, and to a large extent I was able to convince many. But ever since, social media has been filled with comments tending to ethnicize the campaign instead of making it issue-based. AFENIFERE has therefore decided to address you today, and through you educate the public on the ideological and equitable principles which have influenced our decision. Let me state here for the benefit of those who may not know that AFENIFERE is the Yoruba interpretation of the social welfarist ideology of Action Group, a political party founded by Chief Obafemi Awolowo and his colleagues in 1951, with strong advocacy for federalism as the best form of government to give the federating units the requisite autonomy to thrive and peacefully compete among themselves for the ultimate development of Nigeria. The system was eventually agreed to by our founding fathers, Sir Ahmad Bello, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and endorsed by the Colonial Secretary, Sir Oliver Littleton, in 1954 and embodied in the 1960 Independence Constitution. This is the modest contribution of AFENIFERE in shaping Nigeria into a federation where no person or ethnic nationality is oppressed. Please subscribe to the channel V Media, like, share, comment, and turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Continuing, he said, in the countdown to the 2023 general elections, long before the parties conducted their conventions to elect their national executives and candidates, we had insisted and still advocate restructuring before the elections, proposing a synthesis of the identical resolutions of the 2014 National Conference and the APC El Rufai 2018 True Federalism Committee. We did this as AFENIFERE and the wider spectrum of the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum, SMBLF. We did this when politicians, in spite of the monumental crisis confronting the nation, carried on as if the attainment of power was all that mattered. The SMBLF unanimously proposed that the minimum condition for a peaceful transition from the disastrous 8 years of Buhari's government, headed by a president of northern extraction, was to have the next president from the south. This position was also supported by all the Southern governors, irrespective of their political parties, at a meeting held in Asaba, Delta State. Incidentally, this North and South consideration, which is at the very root of our amalgamated federation, is also the most important testament of all political parties in Nigeria. The principle of federal character enshrined in the Constitution dictates that the government of the Federation or any part thereof shall not be concentrated in any ethnic group or a combination of such groups. It is therefore preposterous to adopt this principle for employment in public service, admissions in educational institutions, political appointment, the composition of the executive committee of a political party, only to jettison it in the most important question of rulership of the Federation. It is on this same principle we condemn the PDP for sponsoring Atiku Abubakar, a Northern Fulani Muslim, to succeed General Muhammadu Buhari, another Fulani Muslim who will soon complete 8 years of uneventful and disastrous rule. One can imagine such a high degree of political insensitivity. On our part, we are certainly not alien to sacrificing personal interest in the quest for a national coalition to put Nigeria on the proper pedestal. In this regard, the starting point is Southern solidarity, for which we first enacted a handshake across the Niger, which are dovetailed to the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum. We enjoin the labor movement, students, youth organizations, women associations, and every institution whose foundation is built on fairness and justice to join hands in this task of enthroning a democratic government by supporting Peter Obi. If we are sincere and honest about keeping Nigeria together in peace, the slogan henceforth should be to keep Nigeria one. Everyone should be Obidati compliant. In the final analysis, let it be said that we have no apologies but due courage of our conviction that Nigeria can only prosper in righteousness. That's a wrap of today's news, guys. Bye for now.